Hey, g'day traders, Sam here from Trade to Prosper. It's been a while since I did my last video update. Been struggling with some weird illness that's giving me a real bad sore throat, so I struggle to talk without coughing. I'm going to give you my thoughts on Bitcoin and also Atom or Cosmos. When we look at Bitcoin, for the short term, it's really going sideways, and it's pretty much a trap for the whales to get people to commit. So if you commit from the bottom, you move this level and there's no really profit taking, so they prevent you from taking profit. Really, you can raise your stop losses higher, but you're easily wicked out. Similarly, those that entered the short are in a range, much like here side. That was a good opportunity. So you want to wait for these edges. You want to see price coming down. Look, this one's taken that liquidity out, for instance, and obviously this one's taken out a whole bunch of liquidity on the shorts and a bit here as well. So what you want to do is you want to wait. You want to wait, and this was a nasty one as well. So for the short term, we're in a range, and what is this range likely to do? That's good as anyone's guess. Let's look on a different time frame. Let's look on the 4 hour. And you can see my 10 and 20 moving average at one stage played the resistance, and now it's probably playing support, but it's nasty. Looking at a bigger time frame, so what we can see from this chart is some significant moving averages. There was a moving average there. We are below. So let's see, what's this one? The 100 daily, the 50, and the 200 SMA. So yes, we dropped a few key moving averages, so I do expect it to go lower. I'll be looking for potentially entry coming here, a shorting position. So if this was to bounce, mind you, this is, like you can see, pretty much the, actually let's just pick another chart. This is Binance Index. Okay, let's pick another one. So you can see my Fibonacci set out 0.618, like previous level, held as support, and that's what's happening at the moment. And if price was to go up, guys, give it up, say it was to go up, which reference point? I'll use that point there. The 0.5 is likely to be a strong resistance now. So if this was to go there, definitely a resistance and knock back down. I don't think we're going to go looking for anything higher. The golden ratio, we've got these moving averages coming down, and this one's coming across, so this area is going to be strong resistance. So I was thinking maybe along the lines of a bearish channel type of thing, and then down. So yeah, the market's scaring. However, the market makers could play some joke on us. Now actually, this is what I want to talk about. Why am I bearish? Let's get into it. Look at this response. It's all about the response, really. The fact that, and I said in my other video, I believe this is a wave 5. There's a few bearish trades here. This is our high, and this is ever so slightly higher. And when you get this type of scenario, it is basically some sort of wedge, and we broke out of it. This breakdown with this trend line is significant and it's evident. Now, the best chances that we have is that we come back down to these levels. Somewhere in between, maybe. This wedge playoff usually says that we'll come down to this level here. Somewhere around here. If it's a wedge formation. So that is the level I'll be looking that it will come down to. There is also that possibility that yes, we have a bounce, and that's pretty much left shoulder. This is a neckline, head, and a small right shoulder. So unorthodox, but it makes a case. If you notice from a perpetual contract, we actually went much lower than that. So we got that strong bounce. So yes, area of demand 0.5. But when you look at this, we can also say that this was a measured move. Actually more than that, isn't it? So that sort of plays out and more. Okay. So yeah, we have wave 5, and I did say, let's do it here. We said along these lines 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we said it's a moderate, a mild, or a moderate, or a significant one, which is further down, correction. So it's hard to say at this point, but there is no interest. Now look at here. This was an uptrend. This is barely holding up the weekly level. And what you can see is that every time we came down, you see those candles, strong response with such a drop. And we got no response, very little. So this shows that there is not much interest. Now, what the whales are doing is they know it's bearish. They want to get a good value, higher value. So they might just want to get more people to commit, get longs come in, and then they'll just unload at a higher price and then further down. So here they've been pretty much dropping. Well, people, every time there was a longs coming in for the dip, they were dropping it. Every time the longs went for the dip, they kept dropping, getting good value for it. Now the buying, they're all destroyed, these ones. And we took out the liquidity, and we took out the liquidity below this as well with this one here. So all the stops are gone. There's not much. So not much to go long, and it's not a real setup for shorts. So if there's a shorting, if there was a shorts, the longs aren't coming in, so there's no long squeeze. And if there is a shorts go up, they might look for the short squeeze. But how high would it go? That's a clear drop. All we can do is go with the moving averages and Fibonacci. Here is a key level, and just by eyeing it out physically, just give it take a bit. You can probably use the weekly and daily level to work it out really well. But I do see that as a major resistance, and I'll be looking to short. Go enter the short here. That is a neckline, and it's likely to, if this was to go up, it's likely to be knocked back. So we're looking for further downs. We can do a way of Fibonacci from swing low, high to low to high. Let's just put this on the right side for a sec. Get a different color for the moment. So the ones there, that's why we get the support. 0.786 is acting as a resistance, and this level makes sense for the next 1.618. That will be our ABC type of scenario. So here we might get some interest. Golden ratio, key level right there. Previous support level, previous resistance, support, bit of support there, And then you look across here, that was the neckline. Maybe even push this down a bit further. That is where we get some strong support. The scary thing is it is bearish. Now what I said was this is the neckline. So if this is our V shape, then we're looking for a cup, potential cup. And we want to do this. If we can, where is it again? Before I clicked on it. Is it there? Now let's look at this. So we've got the V shape. Where is the V here? Is it a V? Okay. We've got the V. And this is a well-known structure. Or you can do it as a cup and handle if you want. Now let's look at Fibonacci. So golden ratio is where we expect support. Now this one is, there we go, non-fib. So here, it's my area of interest to start going long. So there will be a good bounce. Now look at this, and now let's look on the weekly. Oh bugger, we can't do it on the weekly, can we? Not on this chart, bummer. There was a formation, a macro trend line. I can't buy it here, but it's something like that. A macro trend line on the weekly. And that sort of fits the scenario right there. $618, and yep. Now I might have to do another chart just to show that picture. Give me a sec. I'll use Coinbase. I haven't used that for a while. Here we go. Let's just do this for clarity. This is where we got our support, guys. Now if we do our Fibonacci, and let's go back to the candles. There we go. Now if this is our ugly head and shoulders type of scenario where we get a bounce, could be a double top in a way, not just head and shoulders. Then our measured move, do we take the wicks? Well, we'll try the wicks for the time being. We get our measured move, give or take. Our measured move brings it to the 618 level with a double top. Even the head and shoulders is still a bit the same down here. And you can see that is this is a weekly chart. So if we pick our weekly levels, get the magnet out, there's our weekly, that's one weekly there. Here's the other weekly. And you can see right there is a measured move. Here is our other weekly level with the candles. If we take the wicks, perfect. That one's probably the best one there. And that is yeah, 21k range. So if if this comes down slowly, if this just comes down like and just slowly comes down, then we have a good chance to break up. Now this trend line, you can see how the candlesticks come through. If this drops hard, then it's going to be a struggle to go bullish. If this comes down slowly, bit by bit, then it just shows you that there's accumulation as it comes down, and then we could find a movement to the high. However, this trend line is the concern, because then we break that trend line, and that could be a resistance. What we'll need to do is look for that kind of move, or it will just come back further down. Now, from a Wyckoff perspective, this is our sell and climax. This is our automatic rally, secondary test, up thrust. Now, there's a model that does that. There's a model that comes double bottom. So we have the double bottom W, or we have one that the spring is slightly lower. And the 12K makes sense. But now if it goes below there, let's see what we have on the macro. If it was to drop harder, let's put the fibs in there. So we don't get anything there, do we? There's no, okay. Let's just clean this up. Let's get this out. I remember doing this some time back. Haven't checked it again. And let's flip on the, there we go. So that 1.618 is about 11K. You can see the confluence with the 1.414. If we, that's our confluence. What I want to do is use this level. Let's just pick that and get rid of the, just use the body of the candle. So the 0.5 fib was the major support. And again, the 618 and the 1.618 is the extension. Now, if we look from an Elliott wave perspective, it's pretty much, that is a 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, it doesn't quite overlay. It's still above. 1 is still above. And then we got 5. It's very possible. Otherwise, that's one, the bearish scenario, guys. That represents this here. Very similar to, we're having our 5-way count to the bottom. We have this rally, and then we have this ABC. And our this could be a bigger ABC. Yep. I don't think that's going to be the case, but you never know. Keep that in mind. This trend line is very important to hold up, and if the stock market drops hard, and the US dollar keeps going the way it is, then there's downward pressure all the way through. This is exhaustion, and we've got a lot of bearish divergence that's playing out. And on the weekly, it looks crap. There's a long way to go with this indicator. And this is all saying further down. Everything's basically showing further down. On the weekly, on the RSI, we're below 50%. So it's very likely that even if we get a bounce, it'll be something like that further down. And what's holding it up on the weekly, there we go. Well, as soon as we break that level, we're done. That probably aligns with this trend line. And got all these moving averages pretty much crossing over. These haven't quite crossed over. If they cross over, it means that these have dropped a fair bit and we're looking bearish. I could tweak that a bit. Just use the body of the candle. Yep. And you can see how that if this was a drop, this is a good, here's a good level as well. So that's, we're going to get a bit of support there on the weekly. So our next level is 24,300 for potential support, and get a bounce, and then we can see where the resistance is going to be. So if we go there and then drop down, get support, this is going to be strong resistance, and then come down, maybe get a wick, and then if we can get above that, then it'll continue on. Well, that is the bullish scenario that I'm seeing. Now back to, that's what I got. Now if we look at Tether, Tether is looking bullish. This could be, to really go bearish and bullish, we need to see Tether drop below this level. If Tether drops below this level, then we can start being bullish. If Tether breaks above this level, So this is consolidation or of some sort. Here was a consolidation or reversal. And from a tether perspective, if you look at the macro, I've gone over this. This could be bullish, and if it breaks above this, guys, then that's where our next level is for buying the dip. But this could go, and I'm looking at these levels here, and that's where that if it's really bearish, that's where I'm looking to buy, and then come back down. This will do our Wyckoff topping off structure. As you can see, this looks like a distribution or reaccumulation, so it's nasty. When will the bull market start? The moment we break this level. So here we go. This is the bull market indicator. If we drop, we are still likely to do whatever. The moment we drop this trend line, this is where we're going to hit, and that's our bull market. In the past, we had with Tether, we had our previous all-time highs with this, and just look at the trend line on this. I'm not going to go through it, but there is something there, and you can see how this was a continuation breakout. This was a nice breakout, and that was our top, and that was our 15k, I think. So we're going sideways. We just want to see which way it goes. Back to Adam. Adam, in my opinion, if you look at my Fibonacci, I won't go over it. Top reference, bottom reference, roughly there. My golden ratios here. We have confirmed trend line, resistance all the way through. Until we break this trend line, can't go bullish. This does look like a breakdown of this structure. That's my wave 4. So wave 3 to 4, complex structure, Elliott wave, then continuation. So now if we were to apply Fibonacci, this is a level of interest, and even worse down here. And it might come all the way down, like that. That will be a good buying spot. 786, a lot of alts do that. But as you can see, point of control is here, along here. That was our previous support. We might get a double bottom, but I still don't see this breaking. I still see that coming down. So Adam is looking like a macro descending wedge, and this is a very good spot to buy. $3 something. Start averaging in if you need to, and then we might get a range before the breakout. So that's my thoughts on Adam, guys, or Cosmos. There's a lot more, but at the moment, if you get this video, Blur, I've traded this, and I'm still while Bitcoin goes sideways, this is going to be a nice breakout trade. I do feel like this is going somewhere. Now let's look at this on a bigger time frame. So here, this is where it's probably going to go to. Just like these wicks. Let's get a wick and then back down again. Might just go sideways. But I think this is going to further go down. Blue is new. And if this is a 1, 2, that's still a strong move for it. 2, 3, 4, and then potentially further down. So short term, strong, nice bull, strong candle, and obviously bullish divergence. I still feel like it might just go up to that level. Now let's look at it on a macro. Fib levels. Let's just have a look. Levels of interest. And get our Fibonacci, guys. We can take the down there. Let's see how that looks. Okay, so we're here at 0.236. Let me just massage this a little bit. That's probably better. Okay, so that wick's there. So that's our 2 point. Yeah. So we've got that level as resistance. Makes sense. Didn't hit the 10. I think it'll still go up, but definitely I wouldn't be looking to go long. This is pretty much a rejection, but that rejection is based on that there previous high. But I think it's still going to go sideways. Use the 618 as support. MACD's looking good on the 2 hour. Likely to find support in this range, maybe continue on. My stop loss is slightly there. It can come down pretty hard. Nice volume for this one, so not much selling off. I still feel like it's going to go up very much to this one here. We traded this, we did well with this one, found it late, but I still entered the trade somewhere down here, so I did well. I'm stopped out. I'm looking for a continuation because from the elite wave count perspective, I think that's so. We have our 1, 2. This is a strong 2-3 wave. So this is likely to be wave 3 and 4. Where wave 4 is, then we've got wave 5. Could go slightly higher, but it's still bullish. We've got the moving averages here, so that will be definitely, if it comes down to $12.89, that will be a good entry point. Most likely a good support, and then continue on. Like BLZ, it did that type of scenario where it pulled back deep, and you got this macro structure before continue on. So no trades for that, but some alts are going to do really well. So that's what I have for now, guys. Hopefully it gives you some idea what to look for, what trades, and good trading. Talk to you soon. Cheers.